This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, welcome everyone. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. So, before starting, I would just introduce you to Techcanvass. So, Techcanvass is an IT certifications training organization for professionals, wherein we help students to crack their certification exams in first attempt. And we are authorized training center for IIBA and PMI. So, we provide certification trainings for courses like ECBA, CCBA, CBAP, Agile, CBDA, and we also train people for PMP and CAPM certifications. So today's session is a Q&A session, and we have already received a lot of questions. While registering, people have registered and they have asked a lot of questions. So we'll be taking all those questions, and once done, we can take your questions as well, whatever you feel like asking. So we have with us Abhishek and Rakesh, who are industry experts in the fields of business analysis and project management, respectively. So they'll be answering your questions. So, should I start, Abhishek, Rakesh? Should I ask the question? You would like to introduce yourselves?
Yes,
So
you can
maybe,
start.
yeah, we can start.
Okay,
All
let us also just give a brief about ourselves. So, I have been into industry for last 27 years, and I have worked both as a business analyst and a project manager for various industries and various domains, including banking and financial services. And uh, in the current role, I am teaching on business analysis. So I'm also CBAP certified, and I do write and also take up guest lectures. And we also do a bit of consulting to help organizations improve their processes and project management practices. That's all about it. Rakesh, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Abhishek. So my name is Rakesh Bahadure, and I'm a PMI certified PMP. I am also PMI certified authorized training partner instructor for PMP. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certified, and I was a safe agilist. And apart from that, I'm a master trainer. And I've been in the IT industry since last 22, 23 years. And most of my project career in the IT industry been in the project management field. So I started my career as a project manager and moved on to heading the entire department, program management, delivery management. And I have also conducted a lot many trainings on PMP certifications from PMI. So in short, that was all about me.
All right. So let's start with our first question. So the first question is PMP study materials and process.
Okay, so I think I'll take that question. Like I mentioned, I am a PMI certified PMP, so I know what this question stands for. So PMI earlier, before the new ECO came in force, it was just one book like PMP PMBOK Guide 6th edition. But after this new ECO, which is Examination Content Outline, PMI also suggested referring to more than one book, which is of course, PMBOK Guide 6th edition is the go-to book, but apart from that, you have Agile Practice Guide, and they have also mentioned 8 to 9 reference books which are available on their website under the PMP certification heads. So that was all about PMP study materials. Apart from that, I would like to pinpoint that if you refer PMBOK Guide 6th edition and Rita Mulcahy and the Head First series for PMP, I think these three good books should be good enough for you to pass the examination. Process wise, it would be easier that you need to have at least 3 to 4 years of experience in managing projects or leading projects in your organization. Apart from that, all your project management experience or leading the teams in your organization would be, you know, how you initiate the project, how you plan the project, how you execute the project. Mostly all the 5 process groups, how you spend your time in dealing with all these 5 process groups. So once you have all these credentials available with you, and you have more than 4 years of experience in project management domain, then you are eligible to apply for PMP certification at PMI. And PMI has made it quite easier nowadays, that you can actually register with PMI, become a member of PMI, then you can start applying for the PMP certification process. It's an online process. It's simpler one. The only tricky part here is you need to keep your experience handy, so that when you start filling the application, you would not be finding out where to look out for the information. So that was all about how to apply for PMP certification at PMI. Apart from that, if I merge your experience level with the study material, these two things are totally different. Sometimes what happens is, what you learn in your organization as a processes of project management will be totally different than what the PMP or PMI people have suggested in the PMBOK guide or in the other reference books. So my suggestion would be, you read the PMBOK guide, you read the PMP study materials, more than 10 resources. But at the same time, you make sure that you are aligned with what PMI people have mentioned in their resources. So that was all about this particular question.
Right. The second question is how to identify exact answer for multiple questions. This is, I think, regarding exams and multiple choice questions.
I hope Abhishek
Yeah,
more
sure.
more years of
Yeah,
experience
I'll
with
take
it.
it. Yeah, so basically, I guess the question here is about how to select the right answer from the given options. This is what I understand. So, if you're not confident about answering the question, you don't know the exact answer, the best principle is to follow the principle of elimination. You can eliminate the wrong answers, and then possibly you can arrive at the correct answer. Sometimes there are questions where the options are a little confusing, and some of the options are pretty close. In that case, you can kind of do the 50-50, eliminate two of the wrong answers, which will be obvious ones. Between the remaining two, then you have to use your judgment and use your understanding of the concepts, whether it's project management related or it's related to business analysis, to answer the question. I think there's a bandwidth issue. I'll switch off my video. Yeah, so I hope that answers the question to an extent.
All right. So the next question is certification standards and knowledge debt for business analysis.
Knowledge, yeah. So I think this was about the depth of the knowledge required about in case of the business analysis certifications. So there are multiple certifications from IIBA. In the pure business analysis area, there is ECBA, there is CCBA, and then there is CBAP. Other than that, they also have agile business analysis and product owner certification. So there are multiple certifications available as far as IIBA is concerned. Now, in terms of the expectation to qualify or to clear the tests or these certifications, ECBA is the entry level certification. So at the ECBA level, you are expected to know the concepts of business analysis. You are not expected to have any kind of experience. and all the questions are based on BA-BOK. Okay, so for example, if there is a book which is to be studied, in this case it is going to be the BA-BOK. So the level of knowledge required for ECBA is, you can say, conceptual. It's more like conceptual knowledge. But for CCBA and CBAP, these are for experienced business analysts, which means that IB expects you to have experience as a business analyst. And the questions are not conceptual. The questions are more like application based. So you will be asked to apply the business analysis concepts, including techniques and theories, in a given scenario. There could be case studies. There are 4-5 case studies. There are some general numerical questions, aptitude questions, and then the remaining scenario-based questions. So the expectation is you should have good understanding of business analysis and very in-depth mastery on BABOK to be able to clear these certifications. Okay. As far as the other two certifications are concerned, which are Agile BA and Product Ownership, they are relatively average kind of a difficulty level test. And for that, it's like questions will still be scenario based, but they are not very complex, unlike CBAP and CCBA. Yeah, Soumya. Sorry, you'll have to reshare, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question is, as a BA who is planning to upgrade my career, should I do IIBA exams or should I go ahead and do CAPM certifications?
Okay, so I'll take it first, then Rakesh can pitch in. So it depends on your preference as far as what is your aptitude and what are your strengths. So business analysis is more like an individual capability role. So you work mostly as one particular business analyst. Project management is a team game. It's purely about managing a team to achieve a particular objective. Both business analysts, and project managers ultimately help a customer achieve a goal or achieve a business objective. But their role in a project is different. Project manager is like a captain of the ship who drives everyone, including business analysts. So if you like managing teams, if you like interacting with people, if you like taking full control of the situation, you should go for project management profile. So you can start with the CAPM. But if you like to work more as an individual, still there'll be a lot of stakeholder interactions, customer handling, but you don't prefer to manage teams and all, then you should go for business analysis profile, and you should start with ECBA exam, ECBA certification. That would be a better choice. Rakesh, would you like to add something?
Well, Abhishek, you have already covered almost 99% of answers to this particular question. There is just one thing which I would like to add here. Like you mentioned, CAPM is for the entry-level people who want to get into the project management domain. But someone who has around 7 to 8 years of experience as a business analyst, and like you mentioned, if he or she is more towards managing a team of people, then instead of going for a CAPM certifications, I would suggest that he or she should go for PMP certifications. It is just a matter of the experience level and the comfort level that you have with these two kind of certifications. I think that should be good enough for my side.
All right. The next question is, PMI validation and post expiry need to do certification again.
All right, that is a good question. I'll take it. So once you pass your PMP certifications from PMI, the certification is valid for 3 years. Say for example, if I got my certification on 17th of or 21st of November 2017, So it was valid until 20th of November 2020. So and if I do my PDU renewal or my certification renewal process, then it will get extended to by another 3 years. So if I earn, there is a requirement given by PMI that during these 3 years of your certification, if you earn 60 PDUs in those particular 3 years, you renew your certification, PMP certification automatically. So if I earn 60 PDUs from 21st of November 2017 to 20th of November 2020, then my certification life would get extended by another 3 years. So it would be until 2023, 20th of November 2023. Now, if I miss to earn my 60 PDUs in those 3 years, there is a concept called as suspended certification or suspended period, wherein PMI gives you 1 year of time to earn your 60 PDUs, and you'll still be able to keep your PMP certification active. However, if you do not earn your 60 PDUs during that 1 year of expiration of your PMP certification, then you'll have to reapply for your PMP certification. So that is, I mean, they give you 1 year of kind of a grace period, but in that particular suspended period, you cannot say that you are a PMI certified PMP. It is just the grace period that have been provided to you so that you can renew your PMP certification.
All right. The next question is, can I bring paper to jot down notes during while taking the exam?
Abhishek, I'll answer this question first, and maybe you can just chip in. So when
Yeah,
you
sure.
go for yeah, so when you go for PMP certification or CAPM certifications, which are managed by PMI, and it has been held in these centers, like in the physical location, there it is kind of not allowed to carry anything. If you need pen, they will provide you paper. If you need calculator, they will provide you paper at the center, physical center. However, what you can do is basically it's called as a brain dump. It is called as brain dump. So once you get the paper and the pen from the center people, you can just write down your notes there before you start the examination. That is completely allowed because you do not. I mean, you are just dumping your brain on the paper provided by the center. So, however, if you're talking about taking the notes during taking the examination, well, first of all, you will not be able to take any notes during the examination. And even if you do take notes during the examination, you would not be able to take it outside the examination center. So maybe it would be good for you to take the notes and do some kind of calculations during the examination, but you cannot take it outside the examination center. I think that sums up the questions. Abhishek, if you would like to pitch in.
Yeah. So even in IIB exams, you are allowed to take 2 pages, 2 blank pages, which you have to display to the proctor if you are taking the proctored exam. Now, all the exams of IIB are proctored. So you can take 2 pages where you can jot down whatever you want to. But you have to destroy both these papers before you can log out of the exam. So if you want to take something out of the exam, you can't do it. But if you want to do calculations, if you write down something, you want to come back to that, or if you want to do some calculations, you can use that paper or those 2 papers, or you can also use, there's an online calculator which you can use for calculations. Because in CCBA and CBAP, there are calculation based questions. So you can use that. That's not a problem. But no notes from the questions which you can take out. Soumya.
Okay. The next question is there any question bank on IIBA AAC certification? Will it be helpful in passing examination?
question banks always help in kind of getting ready for the exam, because kind of question banks are, this give you a flavor as to what kind of questions you are going to expect in the actual exam. So it does help. And I'm not aware of other academies offering the question bank, but Techcanvass does offer 500 questions for AC exam. So there's a question bank which is divided chapter wise and into full length, and there are also some drills which you can use for practicing. So,
Soumya, before you shoot the next question, like Abhishek mentioned, we have 500 questions for IIBA, and Techcanvass provides around 2,000 questions for PMI, PMP, as well as CAPM. So it's like a treasure of questions at Techcanvass. Yeah, Soumya.
Yeah, so I would like to add we have question banks for almost all the certification courses. So you can definitely go out and check that. Okay, next question would be, is a PMP or CBAP certification helpful in the field of data science?
Hmm. Well, from my side, from the PMP perspective, like Abhishek mentioned in one of the earlier questions, project manager is care of people, how to manage a team of people. So, if you want to understand how a project would be faring in the data science, again, you'll be having somebody who will be working under you as a data scientist. There will be someone who will be taking care of the testing and the training of the data. But certainly, it will be helpful uh, in the field of data science.
okay, can I add here?
Yep.
So IIBA does have a certification related to analytics. It's called CBDA, Certified Business Data Analytics, and or certification in business data analytics. But when you say data science, it's a very vast field. Okay, so we can very safely divide data science into fields which are purely tech field, where you need to learn R, Python, and a lot of other programming languages. Other one is more like a non-tech, which is understanding the problem, designing the solution, interacting with the stakeholders. Because every project, like a data science project, has certain elements common: understanding requirements, managing stakeholders. That never goes away. Okay, so if you are a business analyst working into a non-data science project, and you want to move into a data science project, you don't need to learn Python and R or programming. What you can do is that understand the conceptual part of data science, how the algorithms work, what are the data related aspects that would help you in moving from your current field to the data science field, either as a project manager or as a business analyst. Okay, so IIBA, just to conclude, IIBA does provide one certification called CBDA for very close to what you call data science. It's an analytics certificate. So,
Okay. Next question is, for a BA transition to product management, do they need to focus on PMI or just CBAP?
look, the project management as such is again a pretty vast field. Okay, and there are multiple things which are involved in a for a product manager. So product manager looks at multiple things, like starting with the user and market research to understand what kind of products are supposed to be developed, what are the features, identifying new needs which can be added to the product. So that is one aspect of the product manager. They also, on the other side, coordinate with three different teams: engineering, sales, and marketing, for different reasons. So there is always a concept, or some literature says that product managers should be technical, they should be knowing a lot of programming. But in today's world, that is not true. Basically, you, on one side, you need to understand the vision of the organization, identify with it, and communicate it to the entire team. So for that, you can do market research, talk to the stakeholders, talk to your senior management, and align with this strategy. On the second side, you need to ensure that the right product is developed and it is sold in the right manner. So then you need to interact with the engineering team, like your development team. You need to interact with the sales team, because that is how they are going to sell in the market, and the marketing team, how they market it. Okay. So as a product manager, you need these related skills, mostly in terms of you need to have the understanding of product roadmap, how products are developed. That those understandings you need to have. You need to have a very strong stakeholder management aspect, and you also need to have some understanding of how products get used in the market, which features, some idea about the user experience. Not necessarily you should be an expert, some idea about the user experience. Now, if you look at the BA profile, you do a couple of things in as a BA. You do manage stakeholders. You have some idea as a senior BA about the roadmap and other stuff. But there is a gap. There's a gap in terms of having the ability to really work on the product roadmap, product vision. That typically business analysts don't get an experience of. That is something which needs to be learned. You also need to learn a bit about the engineering side of it, how products get developed, what are the different nuances of it. At least understanding of that is required. And also know about a bit of marketing and bit of sales. How does they work? How do they work? What kind of message you need to give them so that they can sell the product, right? Because you have the core knowledge of the product. To enable the sales and marketing team, you need to give them the inputs. So those are the gaps which you need to learn. So how can you transition? CBAP and PMI is not going to help you completely, but they give you the foundation. There are a lot of product management certifications which are now available. There are courses as well as certification, right from Kellogg's to ISB to IMS. Everybody is offering it now. So you can check out those. There are 3 months to 6 months courses. You can do that. And if you have that aptitude, you can kind of get into that area. Yeah, Sam.
The next question is benefits of ECBA and CAPM certifications together.
Together as in combined benefits.
Yeah, doing it together.
Okay, so I think we'll have to just separate it out. So for CA, the benefits of CAPM certification would be, first of all, you would understand the lexicon of the project management domain. So you would understand the language that is used in the project management domain. That is one thing. Second thing is you would be exposed in your organizations that you understand the project management processes and the standard project management processes. Third one is it is like worldwide known that people who know standardized way of managing projects, they would do it successfully. That is third advantage. Fourth advantage is you will demand a more or better pay uh, than people who do not have any kind of a certification, be it CAPM or PMP. So that was the part of the benefits that you will derive out of CAPM certification. So Abhishek,
Yeah,
that was all of us. Yeah.
yeah, but doing it together, I don't see any kind of any scenario, or I can think of any scenario where these two certifications together can help. Uh, I can't think of it. So basically, the answer is no. There's no benefit of doing it together. You should do it one after the other, depending on whether you want to move into a project management area. If you don't want to move
Yes.
into project management, then you should be going at CCBA, CBAP, or something else. Okay, so depending on your career path and aptitude, you should decide on that.
Okay. Next question is, firstly, what are my chances of practicing as a business analyst before the ECBA or CCBA exams? Secondly, how long does it take to conclude this course?
There are many cases. There are in most of my batches, uh, 5 to 10% people are those who are working as business analysts, but they haven't done any certification. Okay, or they are doing work which is very close to being business analyst. Okay, so it is possible. It is not impossible. Many organizations looking at your or your project manager looking at your uh, clarity of communication, how do you manage stakeholders, they can give you the opportunity to work as a BA or something similar to a BA, gathering requirements, doing documentation. It happens. Okay, so that is answer to the first part. Second part, how long does it take to conclude the course? Course is 6 weeks of duration, the ECBA course. CCBA is 5 weeks, CBAP is 7 weeks, 7 weekends. All these are weekends, and that is the difference is because of the number of hours required as PDs. Okay, so ECBA 21 hours, CCBA 21 hours, and CBAP is 35 hours. So based on that, it takes different durations for the course. Yeah, Soumya.
Yeah. Next question is, how to choose career path between business analyst and project management?
This one I think I have already answered in the beginning. Uh, so basically it is dependent on whether you want to manage, you want to like work with a team, or you want to work as an individual. That should determine your career path. Because then, based on that aptitude and the capability, you can do better or better in a particular path career.
Yeah. Next question is, how to prepare for PMP examination from scratch?
All right.
Yeah.
So if you want to start preparing for PMP certification examination, the very first thing that you need to understand is you need to set aside some kind of a timeline for the certification. That is one thing. That is, you need to have some kind of goal that you need to pass the PMP certification maybe in 3 months' time or 6 months' time or a year's time. That is one thing. Second thing is you need to understand that if you are eligible for PMP certification or not. There are different criteria which have been given on the PMI website. For example, you need to have a bachelor's degree or a degree with 3,500 hours of project management experience over a period of 3 or 4 years, or you can just have a high school degree or diploma with 7,200 man hours of experience in leading and directing a team of project, while executing the project. That is second, that is eligibility. Once you feel that you are ready for the PMP examination, then what you need to do is there is one more eligibility criteria which says that you need to have a standard formal project management training, 35 hours duration. In PMI lexicon, they call it as contact hours. So these 35 contact hours you need to have before you apply for the PMP certification examination. So once you have all these eligibility criteria in your place, then you can apply for PMP certification. That was how you apply for the PMP certification. Now, during the 35 contact hours of preparation, that is a course that Techcanvass offers. We take you through all the examination content outline as provided by PMI. They have started the new examination content outline since January 2021, and they have created three different domains: people domain, process domain, and business environment domain. And in these three domains, they have categorized different tasks, which are around 35, 36 tasks, which we will be preparing you on. So that is just the tip of the iceberg of how you prepare for PMP certification examination. So once you understand the basic terms, concepts of the examination content outline, then what you do is you refer to PMBOK guide. It could be the 6th edition or 7th edition. Now 7th edition is also been released. So, and apart from that, you should have read Agile Practice Guide, and there are around 7 to 8 resources or books which have been provided, and the links are provided on the PMP certification page of PMI. Apart from this, you need to have at least have taken at least 3 or 4 full mock test, full length mock test. So one mock test will have kind of a simulation of the actual PMP certification examination that you write. So it would cover 180 questions, 30 minutes. And the only reason that you need to take at least 3 to 4 mock tests is it will it will help you prepare to sit for the examination for that many that duration, so that you don't get fatigued, you don't get tired, and you have the experience of sitting there for almost 230 minutes. So I talked about the questions, I talked about the materials. I would also say that when you prepare for the PMP certification, I would suggest, I also did the same thing. I would suggest you create the mind maps while you create your own mind maps while preparing or while taking the notes from the examination content outline, from the student's manual, which PMI provides to you as per the new examination content outline, and that would really help you understand the concepts in depth. And definitely, once you are comfortable with this course material, then you start taking the mock examination. I would say that once you are done with the 35 contact hours of training, I would suggest that you take the first mock test of 120, 180 questions. Then you would understand where you stand with your understanding, and then you prepare for the examination. And then maybe after 2 or 3 weeks of extensive studying the course material, take the second mock test. That would really help you crack the PMP certification in the very first attempt. So, ma'am.
Sure. Yeah. The next question is, what are the barriers to overcome while entering these fields, like age of entry, experience, domain knowledge, etc.?
For PMP or PMI, I would say CAPM, which is an entry-level certification, wherein PMI does not expect you to have any kind of experience in project management. You can come directly out of your college and you start working in an organization. And if you really want to get into the project management domain, you can apply for the CAPM certification. It is a knowledge-based, information-based certification. However, things are totally different for PMP certifications. You need to have some kind of experience with you, which I've already mentioned in the previous question. So, and the PMP certification would be totally based on experiential learning, scenario-based questions will be thrown to you, and and apart from that, there would be uh, knowledge-based, but knowledge-based and information-based would be totally negligible as compared to the scenario-based or experiential-based questions that would be thrown to the participant. Yeah, Abhishek, if you would like to add from the ECBA or IIBA
Yeah,
perspective.
sure. So, look, we can't say that there, I mean, I especially can't say that there's no barrier because organizations are also made of humans. And we always have a mindset saying that too old a person, whether they can fit into a particular role or not, that is always going to be there. You can't kind of eliminate that from the industry, no matter how mature any industry is. So that is always going to be there. So, but the good part is that, especially for business analysis, is that it is a field or it is an area where IT industry is very open to accepting people from other industries. This is one of the best entry points into the IT industry from a completely non-IT background. People as diverse as travel industry to banking to operations to supply chain to even there's a case of an air hostess becoming a business analyst. So it's all open. Anybody from any field can come into, get into business analyst. So that is the good point. Domain knowledge is an added advantage. I will not say that it is a mandatory requirement for you to become a business analyst, but it is an advantage because as a business analyst, you're going to deal with customers. And if customer is of a bank, or customer is a bank, or customer is an insurance company, or customer is a financial services company, they will expect, and you are also expected to know a bit about what they're talking about. If you don't have a domain knowledge, understanding those requirements will be very difficult. Okay, so domain knowledge is important, but it's not a mandatory thing to become a business analyst. You can kind of learn domain, you can work on the projects to learn the domain knowledge. The third one is experience. I think there is one more question later on experience part. As to somebody has asked that whenever I look for openings, it's always showing experienced professionals. But I'll answer that question as it comes, whenever it comes. Okay. So if you are deciding to become a business analyst, and if you are little overage, like yesterday only I answered one question on somebody being a 40 years old person. Of course, it is going to be awkward. Of course, because you'll find that your team members in the team are much younger. But then that's the challenge. You have to kind of withstand for a year, 6 months to a year, depending on. You'll also start feeling more confident that even if you are a little more aged, uh, and other team members to accept you as somebody in the team. That is something which kind of is a factor, and it's always going to be. But as long as you are able to kind of withstand that, it should be much easier later on. Yes, Amit.
Okay. The next question is, what are the key requirements for CAPM?
So, Soumya, I guess I already answered this question in
Yeah,
the, yep.
right. We'll go ahead. Next question is, are BABOG guidelines being followed in organizations?
Not completely as of now, but see what happens is these business analysis or the body of knowledge, whether it's project management or business analysis, they are written by a particular set of experts. Okay, and generally what happens is these people are also practicing in the industry. Okay, so they have expressed how business analysis should be conducted in the guide called BA-BOK. Now, immediately it is not going to be followed because business analysis or BA-BOK is a relatively new field. The new version of BABOK was introduced in 2016 September, so it's not even 6 years. Okay, but PMBOK guide is there in existence for many, many years. And you will find that a lot of things which are mentioned in PMBOK is now being used in the industry because all the quality processes, all the process of project management, people who have written them, they have followed PMBOK. So over a period of time, these things become part and parcel of the industry and how professionals practice it. But BA-BOK, not yet. It will take some time. There are a lot of things which you'll find in BABOK, which is very different, very new, a completely new line of thinking. Okay, so that is the answer. It's not yet, but maybe in 10 years down the 10 years time, it will become part of the industry.
Right. Okay. Next question is, I wish to change my career from banking industry, 6 years of experience as relationship manager, to IT industry. Need guidance.
Okay, so I can answer this because a lot of students in my class have been with this kind of experience. So a lot of relationship manager, business development professionals, uh, sales and marketing professionals, they are getting into business analysis because, as I mentioned earlier, business analysis is one of the most uh, what do you call, promising entry point into IT industry from non-IT background. So you can watch any of the webinars which I had conducted, how people move from non-IT background to an to a business analyst field. So there are a lot of things which I call it as carryover skills. Okay, and some of them which you need to learn. Okay, some of the skills which you need to learn are something which is specific to business analysis. Some of the skills which I call as carryover skills, meaning the skills which you carry from your previous background or the previous profile. Like for example, in your case, you already have a carryover skill of managing relationship with stakeholders. That is pretty much part of the business analyst profile. Okay, so you carry that over, and IT industry prefers people who have better communication skills, better customer management skills, especially in the role of business analyst and project manager. Okay, so go and watch that. That is much more detailed with step-by-step description of how you can become. So you can just go to Techcanvass channel on YouTube and you can watch that.
All right. The next question is regarding ECBA certification. Is that of any use if I am new to BA? Everyone asks for some experience as a BA, and even if I do certification, they still consider me equal to the ones who have not done any certification and as a fresher. Also, no added advantage is given even after ECBA. So, what should I do? How can I get into business analysis?
So you have made a lot of assumptions here, uh, right from. So first thing, the quickest clarification on fresher. So when you say fresher, the business analyst role, when you say fresher business analyst, it doesn't mean that it is a college pass out fresher. IT industry generally do not allow complete fresher into a business analyst role. So when you say fresher business analyst, you better term is entry level business analyst or a junior business analyst. It's not a fresher. That is first part. Then saying that I will be treated as equal to somebody who has not done certification, that is also not correct. The first thing you have to understand, certification has nothing to do with job. Why do you do certification? Will it allow you to get a job? Or certification is equal to job? It is not. It is absolutely not. If anyone has that kind of an anticipation that if I do certification, which means I will get the job tomorrow, that is absolutely far from truth. Certifications allow you to first get shortlisted for interviews, because I can modify my resume and make the best by copying somebody else's resume. How will the employer verify that what I've written on the resume is correct? There is absolutely no way. Which means that employer has to first conduct your interview to understand whether you are capable or not. Which means the interviewer has to spend an hour or 1.5 hours for every candidate, because not only interview, but organizing the interview itself, it takes a lot of time. Right? Nobody wants to waste the time. Which means what they will look at, they will need something which is authenticated, which is certification. So if you do a certification from a body which is reputed, employer can have some confidence that you have studied something to do the certification. That is one. So that is where it helps. Second place where it helps is while you're doing your this job as a business analyst, all the certifications, especially the better ones like IBA or PMI, they give you a broader perspective, the best practices of how business analysis can be done. What are the best practices? What are the things which you should be aware of? That allows you to have more confidence in yourself while you're doing the job. That is why, as I mentioned, 5 to 10% are those people who join the ECBA course who are already working as a business analyst. Why do they join? Because they have not learned the formal BA skills. they are not aware of the best practices. That is the second part of the answer. The third part is some experience as a BA. Yes, that is true. A lot of requirements are mostly of a BA where you need experience. Okay, but it is not so that for every BA requirement you need experience. Let me show you some examples. So these are some of the openings for junior business analysts. Okay, so I have just taken out something from Naukri, which is India based, and also something from other locations. Okay, this is saying 0 to 2 years. Generally, a graduate, that kind of a requirement. And this, if you read the job description, it is very basic business analysis work. Okay, so when you say 0 to 2 years, what happens is the salary levels will differ. If you're inexperienced as a business analyst, you'll be given lesser salary. People with 2 years of experience will be given higher salary. So when you're searching for a job as a business analyst, don't search as a business analyst, search as a junior business analyst. And then there is a filter in most of the websites where you can convert the listing to 0 experience. So for example, if you go here and if you search, it asks you to, you just say junior business analyst. And there is a filter, side filter, make it 0. So you start getting some jobs which are for junior business analyst with option of having no experience. If you go to DICE, there also you have a lot of junior business analyst positions, and you can see here, these are the options. And you need SQL, UML, BRD, FRD, requirement analysis, gap analysis, Agile and Scrum. Incidentally, all of these things we cover in our course, but that is besides the point. So here also, if you see, these are typical business analyst job, which does not require R and Python. So, and they say any prior experience as a business analyst will be huge plus. It's not a mandatory requirement. So even on DICE, which is not, most of the openings are in US, you can find the same kind of situation. You can go to LinkedIn also, you can search similar to that. Again, junior business analyst, you have a filter called entry level. You can also do the same thing on Indeed. Wherever you are, Indeed is in every country. Again, junior business analyst positions are here like this. Okay, so it is quite possible to have openings. It may not be too many, but there are opportunities which are available to entry-level BAs. I hope it covers all the points in the question.
Yeah, definitely. So moving on to the next question. I'm a BBM graduate and into field sales for almost 9 years and want to come out of this as there is no career, nothing, and got frustrated with this job profile as need to put money every month from salary to achieve target and save job, which I can't do as due to already having lots of liabilities and loans. Will it be possible for me to take the transition to BA as designation having BDM, which is I think Business Development Manager, and Nutrition Advisor on paper? Is it advisable to show experience as BA?
I think I've already answered in the last question.
Yeah.
All these aspects. No, you don't fake your resume at all because you'll be caught. The interviewers are smart enough to know that whether you have experience or not. So since there are positions available with entry-level junior BA positions, you don't need to show experience, but you need to show a strength. As I mentioned, management, managing stakeholders. As a BDM, you're also understanding the requirements of the customer. That's how sales people work, right? You talk to the customer to understand their requirements. That is also part of the business analyst profile, understanding requirements. Okay, so you can highlight those positions and you can learn about business analysis, all the techniques and tools which I mentioned, and then position yourself as a junior BA rather than faking your experience as a business analyst who is experienced. Yes, sir.
Next question is, I'm just starting off with my PA certification journey. What are the best certifications to get?
PA is basically BA, it seems, or PM.
I
Okay,
think
let's
it
answer
would be
both.
BA, but yeah, that would be great, I think.
So for
I think we can assume that it is BA.
so both for BA, entry level certification is ECBA, entry certificate in business analysis. For PM, it is the CAPM, Certified Associate in Project Management. These are the entry level certifications.
Yeah. Next question is, how much helpful these certifications are for quality manager?
Abhishek, you want to go ahead with this?
I mean, this question is not very clear to me, but if you're a quality manager, maybe the project manager is a better choice because I assume that you are already managing a team. So yes, project management certifications will be more helpful rather than the BA one.
All right.
So you can add Rakesh if you would like to.
Yeah, that is exactly the same thing which I was about to say.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Yeah. Next question is, how to change industry from KPO to IT?
For industry change, you have to find a profile. Rakesh, you want to say, answer this?
Well, Abhishek, I was about to say that you have already answered this question maybe a couple of questions ago. Yeah.
In general, from any non-IT industry to IT industry, the best entry point is business analysis. Okay, from business analysis, you can move to project management position. That is always possible. So, but the ideal entry point is business analysis. There are positions in testing also, but I would not suggest to kind of get into testing because you'll have to start as a manual tester and then your path to a better profile will be longer. Okay, so enter as a business analyst. And if you are a manager in KPO, you're managing a team, then you can also consider project management entry point. So depending on your current profile, you can choose.
Yeah, and Abhishek, in addition to this, what I've experienced and what I've learned from my colleagues is it's always good if you start your business analyst career from an IT industry if you're coming from a different industry and you want to get into the IT industry. Because if you work as a project manager in, say, manufacturing or engineering industry, and if you want to jump from these two industries or any other industry to IT industry, sometimes it is really a difficult hop. I mean, you cannot you can't jump from one heavy industries to IT industry. So it's the best starting point if you want to get into the IT industry. From any other industry, business analyst is the go-to certification.
Right.
Soumya.
Yeah. So next question is, how do we differentiate PMI PBA versus IIBA CBAP?
Okay, let me show a table which I think we had created some time back. One second. Yeah. So this is the difference between PMI, PBA, and CBAP. In terms of the level of validation and the level of respect for these two certifications, they're almost at the same pedestal. There's no difference as such in terms of the rigor, in terms of the effort which you need to take. There are some finer points which obviously will always be different. For example, the level of experience required to be eligible for these certifications. CBAP is 5 years, PMI PBA is 3 years, approximately 7,500 hours versus 4,500 hours. Then the level of experience. In PMI PBA, it's a flat 2,000 hours of experience working on a project. In CBAP, it is slightly differently placed. Overall, you need to have 3,600 hours. And then there are knowledge areas in which you need to have 900 in any four of the knowledge areas out of 6. Okay. Contact hours 35, no difference. Question pattern is slightly different. CBAP has 120 questions, 3.5 hours. PMI PBA has 175 questions, 4 hours. Renewal period or recertification period is 3 years for both, including the 60 CDUs requirement for both. In terms of the questions also, people say that it's similar. CBAP is primarily scenario and case study based questions. PBA is also there, but in CBAP recently they have added aptitude based questions. So these are long case studies, okay, which are basically based on financial calculations, ROI calculation, and so on and so forth. So that's the additional stuff. Otherwise, pretty much similar, except a few parameters. Yes, okay.
Okay, so the next question is it worth doing ECBA? Most of the job postings I see, I think you have answered this question. They require 5 to 7 years prior experience as a business analyst. Entry-level positions are rare, and even in entry-level positions, 1 year experience of working as a BA is required. I think this is the same question that you answered. So I will move on. The next question is, this is also answered by Rakesh, how to prepare for PMP examination.
Yes. There is, I think,
Yeah.
how to prepare for PMP certification exam. There are a couple of videos available on our website, on Techcanvass YouTube channel. You can find complete detailed discussion on the preparation strategy. So there is a study, not exactly a study plan, but a broad level understanding is there in the presentation.
Okay. Next question is, which certification I have to do? I am SAP consultant with 8 years experience and wanted to be in project management activities.
All right, I'll take that question. I think this is the best time that he or she would get into the project management domain or project management activities, how it is mentioned here. And if the person is a SAP consultant with 8 years of experience, I'm assuming that at least 2 or 3 people would be reporting to him or her. And it would be better for the person to get into the project management activities. I would not suggest to get into the CAPM certification. PMP certification would be just apt for him or her. So my suggestion or my advice would be to go for the PMP certification. There are the market, but compared with PMP certifications, that would be my go-to certification for a person who has 8 years of experience in SAP. Soumya?
Yeah. Next question is, which CCBA exam question material is recommended?
So any exam material, any question bank. So there are two aspects to these kind of exams. One is that there are certain aspects which you need to kind of remember for the exam. Okay. Typically the exams are not memory based, so you don't have to memorize a lot of things. It used to happen, especially for IB exams. Nowadays it is not memory based, but there are certain things which you need to kind of remember. So you need to have your own notes because everybody has a different style of remembering things. So if you like piece of paper and pen to write, keep writing things so that you can remember, do that. If you like to have study tables, in our courses it is provided, which are Excel sheets. You print it out and then remember, so there are pages. Or you want to have your own Excel sheet to do it, that's one part of it. The second part of it is the preparation questions. So preparation question, when you're choosing a preparatory question bank, three things are important. One, it should allow you to take tests chapter wise, because there are a lot of many chapters in BABAC, and you have to study everything in BABAC for CCBA exam, no selections. So when there are 7 to 8 chapters, and these are big chapters. So when you're studied chapter 1, you want to take the test to see where you stand. When you take chapter 2, you need to take the test to understand. And there could be a few tests so that you can test yourself quickly before you move on. Or if there are problems, you need to have the explanations in the answer so that you can find out why your answer was wrong. Then, once you clear the chapter-wise questions, you can go to the next level of question, which is full-length tests. Or there could also be an option which our question bank, I have to mention that our question bank also has drills, crossword puzzles, and matchmaking, which kind of gives you an additional layer of practice. And then you move on to the full-length test, which is like exactly similar to the actual exam. All number of questions plus the time. And the simulator should be kind of give you a feeling of exam. Okay, so that you can then take tests. So 3 to 4 tests is ideal, full-length test. You should be doing at least 3 to 4 tests before you can feel confident that yes, I can do it. So these two things you need to be looking at as far as the exam questions are concerned. Okay. Other than that, maybe a study guide, shorter version of study guide, or the BABAC itself is also required, because without studying BABAC 2-3 times, it's difficult to clear the exam. Yeah, Sonia.
Yeah, I think we are done with the questions.
Okay. So, if there is any other question, please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, hi Abhishek sir. I have a question. Could you
Yes, right.
please throw some light about AAC certification? Means how we can benefit that ECBA plus AAC like this.
So, see, from the business analysis perspective, business analysis which you are learning is a more generic version of business analysis, meant to train you on the what do you call entry level business analysis skills. Okay, but as you move on, as you know, most of the projects are now being done as agile projects. So you can work on an agile project either as a business analyst or as a product owner. I mean, these are similar to BA profiles. Okay, so especially in the entry level, you are going to work as part of the Scrum team as a BA. Okay, so your responsibility would be to work with the product owner and do the assistance or provide the assistance to the product owner. So working in an agile environment, what kind of specific things happen in agile? A lot of things which entry level programs can't cover. So ECBA, for example, covers a lot of things, but there are a lot of other techniques and like storyboarding, product vision, those kind of things are specific to agile business analysis or agile field. That is what is taught in agile analysis. Okay, so that's specific
Yes.
to agile BA. That is how
Yes, sir.
help you in moving from being a general BA to a BA in an agile project.
Yeah, got it. Got it, sir. And means along with both the certification, if I add CAPM certificate, so what value means will I get in the job or a next job like this
You
CAPM?
you should not, you don't need to do all of these things together. I think in today's world, it's better to do the continuous learning, but there's no advantage of doing all these things together. So you first gain experience as a business analyst, and then looking at this scenario, either you can wait till CCBA or you can do Agile BA certification, and then later on, depending on if you want to move into project management role, you can do CAPM or PMP, depending on how your career takes part. But keep a focus on continuous improvement. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so maybe every 1 year, every 1.5 years, you should keep on learning something new. That is very important.
Yeah, got it, sir. Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, then yeah, I think this is the end of the session. And 1 second, we have a question on the chat. So Amna asked, to pursue PMP, anyone who is a graduate has 3,500 hours of project management experience hours. Is there any study that can reduce this experience requirement?
Let me answer this question. If I said 3,500 hours of project management experience, I need to correct myself. That would be 4,500 hours of experience that you should be having in leading and managing the project. So that is one thing. Now, if you're saying that we need to reduce it to some, lesser number than 4,500 man hours of this experience, we cannot do that. It is one of the provided by the PMI for the PEP certification, and you need to show it not sequentially, but or not overlappingly, but sequentially. So, for example, if you have around 4 years of experience in the industry, and this 4 years is spread across managing projects, so you cannot say that you were managing three projects simultaneously from 1st of January 2020 to 31st of December 2021. So it's almost like 24 months of project management experience that you have. What they are expecting you to say that you need to make sure that you are not showing the experience sequentially. So it would be 24 months of total experience that you would be showing to the PMI people. And going back to her basic question, you cannot change it to, and you cannot squeeze it to less than 4,500 hours of experience in project management. Yeah, Soumya.
Right. Yeah. Uh, okay, then I think this we don't have any more questions. So thank you everyone for joining, and hope you all have a great day. This was a very insightful session, and we will be uploading the recording on YouTube, so you can watch the video there as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye bye.